Hi, this is Eric Lambert, and welcome back to How to Clinical Research. Today we're going to be talking about how to become a CRA. Now this is how to be a CRA on the sponsor level, so that's pharmaceuticals or biotech. I come from a biotech background, so some of what I say might be a little bit more biotech influenced, but please keep in mind that this right here can apply to both pharmaceutical and biotech companies. So today we're going to be looking at the first step. This is going to be part one of a 3-part video series on how to get into the sponsor realm from the site level, and then specifically how to become a CRA. So this is really for the person that is in clinical research right now. Maybe you're working for a doctor on the site, you're working on multiple studies and maybe various indications or whatever it may be, and you want to take the next step in your career and you want to go into the sponsor realm. So this is where it can help that kind of person. So step one is developing your resume. And the first step within there is to, first of all, get your titles in order. So many companies will give obscure titles, things that are not common in the industry, but maybe specific to that company. It's really important to put titles on your resume that are consistent with the rest of the industry. So give you an example. Sometimes you know that your duties every day are that of a clinical research coordinator, but you might have some, maybe site manager title or something like that. You want to put down clinical research coordinator because you know that is actually what your job is. Recruiters, when they look at your resume, they're matching it to a set of criteria, and it's really easy for them to just kick you off as a potential candidate if you have the wrong titles. It doesn't matter if your duties and responsibilities are that of, that match a coordinator and that corresponds with being a CRA. If you have the wrong title, they're not going to look at you. So get your titles in order, list your jobs in chronological order. The first job listed should be your current job or your most recent. And the next step is to do your research. Research what is required of a CRA. Look at job descriptions on LinkedIn for various companies, and you're going to see that they all have a lot of common things that they're looking for. So they might say, someone that has monitoring experience, sponsor experience, which, this is for someone who's going into the sponsor realm, and this is how you get into there. So don't worry about that requirement just yet. But it'll talk about, protocol timeline, adhering to the protocol timeline, adhering to study budgets, etc. So look at those job descriptions, and then the next step you want to do is match your resume to those job descriptions. Tailor it to be a CRA. That is what you're trying to become. Make your resumes say that you're a CRA even without being a CRA. And what that means is you're going to match your duties and what you do every day to what's expected of a CRA. So that goes down to your next step, which is list keywords. Keywords would be things like monitoring experience, and within there you have PSVs, SIVs, IMVs, COVs, and those are all the monitoring visits that you do at a site as a CRA or monitor. System experience, so that's going to be CTMS, EDC, eTMF. Sponsors use these systems every day, and they want someone that has experience in doing these job functions or working with these systems. So these are just some examples of keywords to list in your resume. The next thing is to review the company that you might be trying to go into, or maybe the type of company. So for instance, if you're trying to get into like a cardio device company, you want to research that part of the industry, understand what's involved with that line of work in clinical research, what the doctors have to do, etc. Get familiar with it. And the key thing here is to highlight items in your resume / CV that say that you can do this job in this field. So if you've done cardio device research at your doctor's office, at your current job, list that as part of your experience, highlight that, make that a key point, and not just in indications that you worked in, but in the responsibilities that you do. Talk about working in the OR, etc. These are the things that are going to really hone you in to being a qualified candidate for this job. Someone that a recruiter is going to look at your resume and they're going to say, wow, this checks off all the boxes that I need to check off to submit this person. They're going to call you, they're going to interview you over the phone, and then they're going to set you up with the in-person to meet with the hiring manager. And we'll get into that in later videos. But the resume is your foundation. This is what gets your foot in the door. This is what gets you looked at, and it is crucial to have this done right. So the next step is to edit your resume. First of all, every bullet point that you list on your resume should start with a strong verb. It should be verbs that show leadership, that show that you can take authority, that you are creative, etc. Strong words like lead and you governed a study or a sponsor or whatever. Use these strong verbs as your first words and on every bullet point, as many as you can. The next is you're going to have essentially all the info that you want to list on your resume, and you're going to be looking at this. You're going to have several pages, maybe 4 or 5 pages of info. You don't want that. So now you have to shrink down what you wrote. So first, your length should be 1 to 2 pages, 3 pages max. And that's if you absolutely need 3 pages. So if you have certifications that you want to list, maybe relevant education that you want to list, etc. If these are important that you feel that you need to have in your resume to get you this job, list them. And if that pushes you onto the 3rd page, that's okay. But ultimately, you want to keep this to your 1 to 2 page mark if possible. It should be easy to read, easy to look at. Someone should be able to pick that up and just understand, within a minute or two, essentially your experience and what you're about, what you bring to the table. And the last step in the editing process is format. Don't just use Microsoft Word. Okay, use a nice website, program, whatever, to design a really modern, clean-looking resume with your picture on it. Your picture should be you should be in a suit. You should look professional. And you should be smiling. Okay, you want to express some sort of personality on your resume. So when people look at your resume, they see something clean, something modern, something easy to read, easy on the eyes. And guess what? Your picture is right there, and they're starting to already feel like they know you. There's a little bit more of a connection there. So this is just another little trick to get people to be familiar with you, comfortable with you, and more likely to call you. So the final tips is to, 1, make a LinkedIn account, but specifically a premium LinkedIn account. This would give you a lot of capabilities to get a job, to speak with recruiters. One of the things would be direct mail. You want to utilize direct mail in this premium LinkedIn account to talk directly to job posters. And what that means are people that actually post these jobs. You can talk directly to them rather than waiting for them to call you if they like you. Also with premium, when you apply, you end up at the top of the list. So do other, premium members. They all end up at the top. So chances are you're going to be pushed down a little bit, but your chances of being reviewed and considered are dramatically increased with your premium account. You also want to filter the jobs that you're looking for in your search criteria. Filter what you're looking for. So in this case, CRA. Filter the locations that you want to work in. And that way LinkedIn will be submitting job application, or not the applications, but potential jobs to you for a review and things that you'll likely be interested in. And the last thing is to just be relentless. You need to be sending sending them applications every day, multiple times a day, as often as you possibly can. In LinkedIn, there's a little button on certain job listings that is like an easy apply, and this is just a real quick way to submit an application. So it'll submit using your LinkedIn profile. You can attach your CV, and it's just like a couple clicks and you're done. Other applications don't have that, so you're going to have to kind of go in there and actually list out a lot of info. It's okay, do the work, it'll pay off. You will win in volume. You will always get more no's than you do yeses. So keep that in mind. Don't let it bring you down. If you keep getting no after no after no, you need to learn from your mistakes as to what you did wrong in that phone interview or whatever it may be, and use that as a way to keep getting better as you go. This is there's a learning curve to it, and how to communicate properly, say the right things, the right keywords, and convey your message. So that'll be in the next video, in one of the next videos with the interview skills and talking with recruiters. So the last thing I want to say is essentially this is an overview of one of the crucial steps, which is developing your resume to get into the biotech or pharmaceutical realm as a CRA, right? If you feel like you need some further help, I am developing a ebook to kind of go into the finer details of kind of the specifics of maybe what to put in your resume, how it should look, etc. Just very fine details. So that'll be coming out soon. I'll announce that when it's ready. And also, if you would like some one-on-one help, I'm open for consulting services. So feel free to leave a comment down below and we can get in touch and talk about that. The ebook will be something for sale to help support the channel. So that will be about $1. Something that's easy, that most people can afford, and that would ultimately just help this channel go. So if you like this video, or you want to see more, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.